Today's topic of discussion is Tate brothers. So the Tate brothers, in particular Andrew Tate, has risen to fame in the last 3 or 4 years or so. He gained a lot of popularity during COVID time, and he spread all over social media like wildfire. So we're going to be discussing some key points of how the youngsters have been influenced by Tate when it comes to relationships, and how he's effectively destroyed a lot of people's mentalities when it comes to dealing with women. So first point is history. So if you go through the Tate brothers' history, right, when it comes to them getting their money, when it comes to their rise before fame and so on. So they'll push the narrative and agenda that they were professional kickboxers and they were doing that for a living and they were working hard, they were training, they were doing all these things, and they were trying to make it in professional kickboxing. If you look at the reality of it and how they actually, their actual credentials in kickboxing, they were fighting at low tiers, meaning that the actual tier that they were fighting at wasn't able to pay them enough money to be able to have a good living. So Andrew himself said that his highest payday was about 100k, and that's before taxes. So if you know about the fighting game, you know full well, right, with that kind of money there, you need to use that money towards training, paying your coaches, traveling to different parts of the world to fight in different countries and so on. It's not really a living. You're not able to make a living from it. So what they were doing is, alongside this, was dealing. So they were drug dealing. Yeah. So in Luton, right, they grew up in Luton, and in Luton is predominantly Asians there. So one of the videos that Tate made as well, you can even research this as well, that in Luton, yeah, it's predominantly Pakistani people there. So he had problems and altercations with the Pakistani gangs and the guys selling drugs there. So it got to the point where they were lending him money, right? So they lent him money, yeah, I think it was about 100k. So he said that he got about 100 grand or so, and then he wasn't able to pay it. So he got his money, I think he had about 60k or so, or 30k or something along them lines. And then he went into a casino, and then he lost about 30 grand or something like that. You as a person, right, if you're somebody who has developed in all areas of life, and you've got a mindset of you're actually a hard-working person, are you going to actually go into a casino and put your life savings into that? So if you've been busting your ass, working like 60 hours a week, whatever the case is, yeah, each and every single week, grinding, yeah, for every penny, and then you go into a casino and you say to yourself, "Wait, right, I'm just gonna put all my life savings into this and try and double it." It doesn't make any sense, does it? So with that kind of mindset there, it just shows he's had a get-rich-quick mindset from the get-go. Now you as a person, right, if you're trying to be a person with integrity, you've got good morals, you've got good ethics, you know full well, right, that trying to double your money and trying to get a rich quick scheme and all this type of nonsense, none of that is going to be ethical a lot of the times. Yeah, so the industries that he was in was unethical, shady type industries. Now, I'm not the type of guy to be going out of my way to create videos and talk rubbish about people. I'm not that type of guy, because this is the first video I'm doing about these guys, and I don't talk about other people in general. However, with this one here, I've had to make an exception because these guys here have damaged a lot of relationships and damaged the youth when it comes to their mindsets and mentalities, when it comes to looking at women and objectifying women, and the type of nonsense that these guys have been talking about for all these years. It's created more havoc and more destruction than good. And guess who's benefited? These guys. They've benefited from their money, but it's coming to bite them in the arse right now. It's coming to bite them real hard now. So we're going to be discussing that in the next point after that. But they're going through all these court cases and so on. But yeah, back to it. So when it comes to the history, yeah, they've been doing unethical things throughout their whole time periods. And then when it comes to women, right, they had these women, yeah, they got these women, so they were fornicating with these low quality women. And then he said this in a video as well, that he got about 4 of his girlfriends, so 4 of his low quality promiscuous women, which he doesn't seem to add that part into the video. Low quality women, and he sat them down on the table and he said to them, right, I'm seeing each and every single one of you. I've been fornicating with all of you, and all 4 of them girls, they didn't even know of each other. So this is the first time that they've actually come across, they thought that he was in a one single relationship. So he was cheating on them, he was lying to them. So rather than being ethical and rather than telling them straight and being a man of integrity and telling them, look, I'm somebody who has multiple women. If you're okay with that, then this is what it is. If you're not, feel free to leave. You know? So he surprised them. He bought them the ticket. They came to Romania. And then they ended up leaving. And then a couple of the girls, they ended up staying. The ones who stayed, right, he put them on webcam. So he thought of an idea, online business. Okay, let me try and make as much money as I can, as quickly as possible, and as unethical as possible. So he got these women, these dirty, low quality women, and he put them in front of the camera to get naked in front of that. So you as a man, right, if you've got a partner, wife or whoever, what sort of man is comfortable with putting his woman on a camera naked for everyone to see? This is what it is. This is just sickening, isn't it? But people don't seem to understand this. People just seem the glamorous lifestyle and all the flashy lifestyle, and they think, oh yeah, he's doing so well for himself. But when you're doing stuff like this, it's not good character, is it? So he's getting these women to extract as much money as they can from all these beta male simps, these loser type guys who are just weak in society. Extract as much as we can from these type of people. You know, what sort of degenerate behavior is that? So he's ended up doing that, right? He's made his money from that. And then he ended up getting all these supercars, and then they were doing so well for themselves. And then it got to a point, right, where they were getting cases on them. And then they ended up moving to Romania because the restrictions when it comes to exploitation is less over there. And he said this himself as well. He knows full well that the laws over there are less restrictive when it comes to that kind of activity. So getting a woman, a low quality woman, to put her on front of the camera, make money from them people there, and then get money from that, and then think to yourself that, you're somewhat of a high value man. How can you be high value? So high value links back to not what people say, but what God says. God has laid out what a high value man is. And a fornicator is not a man who's a high value. So that leads us to the next point when it comes to money. When it comes to money, right, you have the choice in life whether or not you want to do it the right way or the wrong way. If you want to do it the right way or the wrong way. So the ethical way is to do it where you're not harming anyone, you're not exploiting anyone, you're not doing any damage to society. That's the ethical way to do things. And then you've got the unethical way, where you're exploiting people, harming people, damaging people, creating havoc in society, and so on. So this is what it is. These guys here, that's all they're about. They're all about unethical, shady activity. And they'll do anything for money. They'll sell their own mum for money. That's what these are the type of guys are. And on social media, right, the reason why they blew up on social media is because the system pushed out their content for youngsters to get exploited, because youngsters are naive, they lack life experience, they lack pain and suffering, they lack wisdom, and they're not able to extinguish between good people and bad people. So when I first came across them as well, these guys here, I was watching their content. They were pushing out some good content related to the whole discipline, training, working on masculinity, so on. But these guys here, right, they were putting on a good front on social media until it gets to the point, right, where they started getting all these cases on them. They started to push all this materialism. They started to show all these low quality women and try and flex with that and say to themselves, oh yeah, we're high value men. And then you need to escape the matrix and you need to make X amount of money and do all this nonsense and think to yourself, you're a man of value. Since in what time period has a man of value had the most amount of money? Yeah, the most amount of money is controlled by the system. So the system prints all the money. So by default, all the evil people would be considered high value if they've got the most money, isn't it? So if you're going based off of that metric, that doesn't make any sense. So a lot of guys in the youngsters, they feel so insecure within themselves. They think that, if we don't have a Ferrari or we don't have a Lamborghini and we don't have, a big house and flashy lifestyle, that we're not going to be good enough for women. That's the complete wrong mindset. Those same guys here, you see these guys here, right? These women that they've all got promiscuous, low quality women. Low quality, external, makeup. They wear all this dirty clothing where they're just publicly seen by all these other guys on display. No sense of integrity, no sense of honor, no class, none of that. But they've got money. So that's what I said in previous videos. Money doesn't buy class and it don't buy integrity. That can't be bought. Just as how high value status, you can't buy that with money, status, fame, all this nonsense. Yeah, all this rubbish that these guys here. And this is what it is. When you actually look deep into it as well, you see for what these type of people are. These people are literally vermin. Yeah? They're just there to suck people dry. And that leads us to the final point when it comes to sellout. These Tate brothers are sellouts to the system. Yeah? So if you look at the crypto coins that they were pushing, right? They kept on pushing it and promoting it. And guess what? Pump and dump. People bought into it. When people started buying into it, prices going up and up and up. And then price just dumped on that. It's called a daddy coin. That's what they call it. So they got so desperate because these court cases was costing them millions and millions and millions. Yeah? Because these low quality women ended up literally turning their back on them. Yeah? And then they're going around saying, oh yeah, these women here are effing liars, this and that. It's like, nah, you manipulators, you are the guys who are the problem. Women can't put on a case on you without substantial evidence. Yeah, without actual evidence of you doing some craziness with them. Yeah? So a lot of women that I deal with, I keep it professional with them. I keep it nice and simple with them. Yeah? I know full well I've never fornicated with any of these low quality women. So they can never try and press any type of charges on me. Yeah? I've treated them with respect. Every single woman that I've dealt with, I've treated her with that level of respect there. I've never tried to abuse women. I've never tried to harm them or anything like that. The information and knowledge that I've got when it comes to women and experience I've got with women, I don't use that in a harmful way, and I don't exploit women. I don't do none of that. Yeah, I'm someone who's of integrity, and my character comes from the deen side of it, because I have to answer to a higher being, which is God. These people here, right, they answer to themselves. They answer to their own sick desires and perversion. You know, so they got all these girlfriends, all these low quality women. You know, they're just fornicating with these low quality women. You don't hear these guys talking about marrying a woman and actually having children with her and doing it the correct way. Yeah, these guys here have got marriages. They haven't got marriages. They've got relationships with women, and they fornicated with the women, and those same women end up getting pregnant. You know? So I just don't understand it. So guys who are just sellouts, how can these type of guys be respected? How can people look up to this? So this is where there's a lot of people who are younger, they're going to look up to these kind of guys because they are glamorous in front of the camera. They put on a good front, yeah? But when it comes to real life, right, they're literally like maggots. They need about 10 security guards with them. 10 security guards around them because they can't walk the street by themselves. That's how much of a cowards they are. They need literally 10 people around them because they feel so weak and insecure within themselves. No confidence, no class. They talk about, oh yeah, you know, they got all the exterior stuff. Oh yeah, he's flipping, got money, he's successful, you know, all this nonsense. But why do you need 10 security guards around you? People like Muhammad Ali, people like Mike Tyson, yeah? People like Habib. These guys here don't need 10 guys around them to walk the streets. They literally walk by themselves. You know, they haven't got problems with people. People come up to them and nobody starts on them either. But guess what? These kind of guys here, Tate brothers, Floyd Mayweather, he got into problems the other day as well, coming to London because of his support for Israel. Supporting genocide, supporting killing of innocent people. Because he's driven by money and he's a sellout to money as well. Just as how these guys are sellouts to money as well. And they've just been pushing that agenda the whole time. And making these young people feel so insecure. So, oh yeah, we need to try and get a 10k lifestyle, 10k a month lifestyle, or we're not good enough. Since when has that been the equation for success, real success? Yeah, so this way it is. You always relate it back to the deen side of it. What does the deen teach us? The deen teaches us that we need to be ethical people. We need to do things the correct way in life. We don't exploit women. We don't try and manipulate women. We don't do none of that. And women, this is what it is. I remember when I was defending these guys long while back because I didn't know all the information. I was just going based off of what the stuff that was on the internet until I actually done my full research on these guys, until things started to really play out. The domino effect of how these guys here were literally getting to the point where they got so desperate, they started getting these crypto coins, getting people to buy into there, sucking people's money dry, getting so desperate. There's even cases of them abusing women. There's been that video as well that got leaked as well of him doing some craziness with a woman. Yeah, a woman who was like young woman. She's like 16 or something. Yeah, that woman there, right? And then they tried to cover it up, trying to say, oh yeah, it was just foreplay, or it was just acting. This is what it is. It's just sickening. So relationships are not supposed to be like this. Your women, whoever you get married to, she shouldn't be out on the public display for every guy to lust over her. She shouldn't be that. She shouldn't be in front of the cameras like that for her to be undressing in front of all these guys. And I haven't seen any video of them actually condemning what they done previously. You know, certain guys, right, they've been in, let's say, you know, the game, right, so like related to drug game. and then they end up condemning it afterwards. They regret all their actions and decisions, and they actively are trying to help communities. But these guys here, like cowards that they are, they're just hiding in their house in Romania. You know, that's what it is. And then the media has been pushing out to them, oh yeah, these guys here have been doing all types of craziness. Well, part of it is true as well. You know, you can only get into them kind of problems is because you're fornicating with low quality women. So I don't see these guys progressing any much more than what they are right now. They're literally just on a downward spiral right now, and they're just going to continue sinking. And any guys who are looking up to these guys and thinking, oh, these guys here are men of value. These guys here lack wisdom, they lack knowledge, they lack life experience, and they're going to suffer as well alongside them. So all these followers of them, all these little minions, they're going to go downhill with them. So just to wrap up, history of the Tate brothers, if you look at them, they were into unethical, shady things from the get-go. They weren't men of integrity. They haven't been men of integrity and value, and they still aren't. And they'll do anything for money. They're literally leeches of society. The whole Hustlers University, all that nonsense. You'll make 10k a month within 30 days or whatever the case is. You got all these guys on their affiliate programs. Literally, affiliate programs is where it's like a pyramid scheme. They'll get people to sign up and they get a commission out of it. And then guess what? The Tate brothers get the most commission out of it. So they'll pay them like 10%, 20%, or however amount percentage. And then the Tate brothers keep the rest of it. And then they push out that materialism and fornication lifestyle to suck more youngsters in. And then after that was women. The women that these guys get are low quality women. It's funny how that works, isn't it? How God gives impure men with impure women. None of these women that they're with are of quality, are virgin women who haven't had previous relationships, haven't been indulging in haram activity, and have been keeping themselves to themselves. These guys here, they get webcam type girls, OnlyFans type girls. And these guys here, right, are associates with all these top guys related to OnlyFans. Yeah, if you research that, his war room circle, right, predominantly 90% of them guys in that war room are people who promote OnlyFans. They work on that side of the industry. You know, somebody of integrity, somebody of class, somebody of standards. He's very, very critical of the people he surrounds himself with. Myself, I don't deal with anybody who's in those kind of industries, and I'll never deal with them kind of people. Them kind of people there are not on the same pathway as me. They're on that unethical, evil pathway. Literally exploiting women, getting women to do all types of craziness in front of the cameras just so they can rinse the beta male simps. You know, I'm not in line with any of that. And the next point after that was money. So these kind of guys here, they'll do anything for money. So with money, right, there's the ethical way to do it and then the unethical way to do it. And they're very good. These guys here have been very good at putting it on in front of the camera. Yeah. They've even come out, there's even been videos of them being even racist to their own people. So Tate's a coconut. Andrew is a coconut. He's mixed race, right? And his brother, him and his brother, right? There's a video of it as well on the live stream saying the N-word and saying the P-word as well, calling guys Pakistanis or Paki, which is a racist word. Yeah? So if he comes to London, right, he's going to get into problems. He's going to be getting into altercations. As soon as guys see him now, it's going to be on site for them. That's why they need 10 guys around them to try and protect them. Because these maggots can't roll on their ones. So, being men of integrity, being men of class, having standards, you know full well it's going to take a lot of years and it's going to take a lot of discipline and a lot of, character building to develop money through ethical ways. And God's going to bless you with that. But it just takes time. You know, finding these shortcuts, trying to find a get rich quick scheme, trying to find a way which is the quickest way to make money. You're just going to be led down that rabbit hole of doing unethical, shady things. And then the final point was sell out. So it gets to the point where you just have to be a sellout, like these guys here. These guys here are sellouts. Crypto pump and dump coins, get people to buy into their get rich quick scheme. Hustlers University. The word hustler as well, if you actually research the word hustler as well, it means somebody who exploits people. That's one of the definitions of hustler. It's actually the definition of it. You can go research that on Google. Yeah? So they've been pushing all of that. Manipulation, how to get women, manipulate them. How to get low quality women. It's just funny how none of these guys here, they don't get any high quality women. It's all low quality, dirty women that they get in. Used and abused women. And then they exploit them. So this is what it is myself. I don't go actively out of my way to talk about any other guys, because it's not masculine, and I'm not somebody who gossips about other people. However, for guys like this who have been pushing this toxic agenda for all these years related to relationships, and how a lot of the youth I've seen have been suffering because they've got within their mindset that they feel so insecure that if they don't have any type of money, they don't have, these kind of women, low quality women, that they're not good enough. So that's why I've had to create this video here, to get to the youth and let them know that this is not the way to follow. You shouldn't be following these kind of guys like this. These kind of people here, yeah, are literally sellouts to money. And that's all they push in their content. Money, money, money. Materialism. Fornicating with low quality women. So that's what it is, man. Hope that makes sense, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.